we're doing Alaska Native Games, and this is, what we do to keep ourselves in shape. These are not just physical, they're also mental. These are what we do in our everyday lives. These have been done for thousands and thousands of years, but we've only been an organized sport since 1961, so some of the games that we do, they're done in competition, so some of them do have records, and a lot of these are passed down through oral tradition. The games that we've been practicing are called the 2-foot and 1-foot high kicks. Now, for both of those games, they are signaling games. A long time ago, we didn't have, radios or cell phones to text the village and be like, hey, we caught a whale, so this is what we would do. You would have your highest kicker go out to the highest point, and depending on what style you did would determine if you caught a whale or not. So you'd have your spotter looking for the kicker, and the kicker would throw both feet up in the air, letting, the village know, like, hey, we caught a whale, so, bring your people together, help pull in that whale, because that whale is pretty heavy, so it takes a whole community, and people still do that today.
Oh, we had dog sleds. The men made those, of course, in many different sizes. They had a size to carry the kayak, on the ice before they come to an open lead where they could put the kayak in the water. And the sleds, some sleds for children to slide in, and then some large transportation moving to camp sleds. When the Russians came, they brought colorful beads from European side. The native people had beads, but they were mostly ivory and bone and stone. This headdress is called Blessings of the Bering Sea because these are the sea colors, all the different blues. And the deeper the water, the darker the beads get. And this fabric here has like tide movement. And these white are the white caps. On top is the North Star. And on this dark blue strand are stars and planets. And the reason why I call this the Blessings of the Bering Sea is because from the Bering Sea we get a lot of food, fish and sea mammals.
I learned a lot about navigation. These are the days before GPS. You had to have local knowledge and you had to have charts. I think one developed, without knowing it, a very strong sense of surroundings, perceptual sensitivity. And you learn things like how to read the water. Like if the fog came in, you're going to be almost blind, but the last thing you do is you watch the direction of the wave and you use that as your compass. We have our storm directions. We have dominant winds that are trouble winds, and you watch for that. And if you think it's blown up towards the horizon, you can tell by the color of the water changes, like from let's say ultramarine to a Prussian blue. And part of that, the water's getting darker because the chop's blowing up and it's creating more shadow. And you can start reading things like that.
We look at water different than other people. And you see patterns on the water. You see wind on the water. You see tide change on the water. You see birds in locations on the water. And you see all of that with a glance. And you read it. You literally read it. And if you're not raised to the water, you don't look at it that way, and you don't see it. There's ways of seeing schools of fish that you just know because of that and that and that, that's where they are. Then you're just raised that way.
We are carving a yacht, a canoe, dugout canoe. So this is a 23-foot vessel that'll be carved out of red cedar. We went to Thorn Bay earlier in the summer and selected a tree for this project. We find a tree, bless the tree, and then position it in a way where the canoe can, be shaped from it. What I mean by that is you look at the characteristics of it, like where the grain is twisty or where there's bark seams or where the knots are, if there's rot or cracks through it. So you can see there's a crack along here. That's pretty common in a lot of these trees. And as simple as they look and elegant and beautiful, they have purpose that was designed for thousands of years to safely transport our communities to other communities for kuik celebrations, for trade, subsistence, or surviving, living amongst this abundant land and ocean, warfare, lots of things. I think of it as continuum and just holding like culture passing through you. So I get to hold it for a little bit and hopefully leave it without necessarily consuming it, but contributing to it. It's muscle memory. The process of carving it, I think, is, and yet being out in the water, paddling it is, it's a different, you're immersed and connected in a different way than, hopping into even a motorboat or something.